Hello friends, this is Komal Nahta and via this podcast I'm going to review the film The Sky is Pink. The Sky is Pink is a love story of a couple, and that couple is not a new couple. The husband and wife have been married for probably 30 years, but the love story is narrated by their daughter, and that daughter is Zaira Wasim. The couple is Priyanka Chopra Jonas and Farhan Akhtar. Now, Priyanka Chopra Jonas and Farhan Akhtar already have a son. The role is played by Rohit Saraf. And Priyanka Chopra Jonas gives birth to a baby girl, much against the wishes of Farhan Akhtar. Farhan Akhtar does not want her to deliver another child, especially if it's a girl child. Why he doesn't want the child to be delivered? Probably when you see the film, you'll understand. Let me not spoil your fun. Anyway, the child is born. It's a baby girl, and very early on, a doctor in London says that the child is suffering from a life-threatening disease, and if a surgery is not done forthwith, within a few days, she may not be able to survive. Farhan Akhtar and Priyanka Chopra Jonas are distraught. They live in India, but the doctor in London has said this, and they can't really afford the surgery, but anyhow, they make arrangements for the money. The surgery is done, and the girl's life, the baby girl's life, the tiny tot's life is saved. But there is a big but. The doctor has said that the child would have to be in London for at least 10 years because her immunity is very, very low, and she needs a clean place like London. So the option for Priyanka Chopra to return to India is nil. She stays back in London with her daughter while Farhan Akhtar comes back to India to look after his son. Of course, he does go to London, he does visit his wife, but for 10 years, more than 10 years, they are separated. Ultimately, they unite when Zaira Wasim is strong enough to come back to India. Priyanka Chopra, her mother, gets her to India, and they know that it's like a time bomb. Her time is limited. Zaira Wasim's time is limited, and she's going to die very soon. So they try to give her, her parents try to give her all that she wants and even doesn't want. They try to make her as comfortable as possible. And Zaira Wasim is so full of life that you admire her courage, you admire her positivity in life. Anyway, after that, what happens to the family, what happens to Zaira Wasim, that is all shown, but it is an emotional journey. Now, the story and the screenplay are written by Shonali Bose and Nilesh Manyar, and must say that the story is original up to a point, but we have seen films where the person who's dying knows that he or she is dying, or the family members know it, and they try to make the most of the period they are alive. So in that sense, there is not much novelty, but the story of this film is a little different from the other films we have seen in the similar mold. The screenplay is engaging, interesting, but more than emotional, it is depressing. The film tends to depress the audience rather than move them emotionally. There's a big difference between emotionally moved and feeling depressed. When you are emotionally moved and you cry in a film, you feel light after the experience. Whereas if you feel depressed and you cry out of depression because you feel sad, you feel sorry, you don't feel light, you feel very heavy at the end of the film, and that is what this film leaves you with a feeling of heaviness, which is not a very good feeling for the audience. That is not to say that there are no emotional moments. Of course, there are emotional moments, but simultaneously, alongside those emotional moments, there are also depressing moments in the film. Plus, it's not shown what Priyanka Chopra used to do before her daughter was born. It's not shown what Farhan Akhtar used to do. Yes, we know he used to work. But therefore, the audience doesn't really realize what sacrifices Priyanka Chopra and Farhan Akhtar are making for their daughter. Had they shown the sacrifices, had it been underlined, the audience would have empathized with Priyanka Chopra and Farhan Akhtar much more. There is a scene between Priyanka Chopra and Farhan Akhtar where Priyanka Chopra refuses to go back to London because that is what Farhan Akhtar now wants. Farhan has got a lucrative job offer in London, and he wants that all of them should shift bag and baggage to London. By this time, their daughter has died, and that's not a suspense that I'm revealing and spoiling your fun. It is well known that she is dead in the film. So she has died. Priyanka Chopra argues with Farhan and says, I refuse to come to London because she may have died for you. She has not died for me. She's still alive. She's still in the same house in which we live, and I can't live without her. I can't come to London. Now, this is a bit of an irrational behavior. Agreed, this film is based on a true life story. So without really hurting the sentiments of anybody, we'd like to say that in a film, this kind of behavior by no less than the heroine of the film will not be accepted universally. Yes, the evolved audience, the class audience, the elite audience might empathize with Priyanka Chopra's character, but the general masses, the family audiences, a large chunk of them, the single screen cinema audiences will not be able to understand what she's trying to prove by saying, I will not come to London because my daughter is still alive. She still exists in that house in which we are living in India. Also in that same argument, the same fight they are having, Priyanka and Farhan, Priyanka actually chides Farhan saying that, what are you trying to impress me by saying that I have done this for the family and I have done this for the daughter and I've done this for you. You ought to do all that because you are my husband. You are a family person. If you didn't want to do, you should not have gotten married. Very valid argument. But within seconds, she starts recounting what all she has done for the family. And you wonder, how can she be so irrational in her arguments? If she doesn't want Farhan to do it, how dare she do the same thing? So it is moments like this which make you realize that the film is not really creating the impact it ought to have created. And you don't really feel so terrible for the parents because somewhere the mother is arguing in a wrong fashion. It's one thing if she loses her mental balance, which also happens in the film, but this scene is before that. It's one thing if she has lost her mental balance and she's talking irrationally. She has not lost her mental balance when this scene takes place. She is a rational woman, thinking woman with a mind of her own. How dare she behave in such an irrational fashion? That's what you start wondering. So the screenplay is with its flaws. It comes with its flaws. The dialogues are quite nice. Juhi Chaturvedi and Nilesh Manyara penned them and they're quite nice. Now coming to the performances, Priyanka Chopra Jonas has done a swell job. Extraordinary. Her expressions, her body language, her way of delivering her dialogues, the way she cries, the way she breaks down. So all those are brilliant. In one word, it's an award-winning performance, at least worthy of nomination if not winning. She might pick up an award or two, but she would be nominated in almost every single award. For the best actress, of course. Farhan Akhtar is also good. He's given a mature performance, but one thing, we must say that in the initial reels, Farhan Akhtar has not looked good. His makeup may not be good. His hairstyle is irritating. Overall, he's not looked good in the first few reels. After that, of course, he's looked good. Zaira Wasim, who plays the daughter, through whose eyes the whole story is narrated, I think she is brilliant. What a wonderful performance. She also would be nominated for several awards and may pick up a couple of them again for her role in this film. She is superb. She's a natural actress and hats off to her for living the character of Aisha Chaudhary. In the role of her brother, Rohit Saraf is reasonably good. The others have done fair jobs. Shonali Bose's direction is good but not excellent. She's handled the subject sensitively, but that whole thing about creating an emotional impact, that is not universally there through the film. At times you feel it's emotionally impacting you, at times you feel very depressed, and that's not the right thing for the audience to feel. The music by Pritam and lyrics by Gulzar are of course good. The songs sound good in the film. They're not hit numbers, they're not chart busters, but they were not meant to be. In a film like this, you don't expect item music. But Gulzar's lyrics, as always, are very weighty. The song picturizations are all right. Cinematography and other technical aspects are good. Overall, the film is okay. It will appeal to the elite audience, it will appeal to the class audience, and therefore it will do well only in the premium multiplexes of the big cities. The normal multiplexes, the single screen cinemas, the smaller center cinemas, it doesn't seem that this film has a future there. So at the box office, it will not do much. Yes, it will get a lot of critical acclaim, but critical acclaim is going to be much more than commercial success in the case of this film. Friends, please post your comments in the comment section and let us know how you like this podcast. Also, please do not forget to subscribe or follow this channel.